Welcome to Tangling Along with me. We are continuing on tanglepatterns.com, and today it is this pattern that we're gonna work with. So let's open up the book and find a place for this one. So this one is a border, and I have some room here, so I'm just gonna erase my border line here because I'm gonna go over that one, and I'm gonna make a new one just to have something to work with here. That is gonna be very small. I'm gonna make it bigger. Let me make it so that it is going underneath this pattern here. Yeah, I like that better. Good. So I am going to take my Jelly Roll 08 for this one, making sure it is working, and it is. And now we're gonna go work with this one. So I'm gonna make a V shape here, like that. And then I am gonna kind of aura first one side here, all the way down. And then I am going to aura the other side all the way down. So you could just stop here and leave that and make that your pattern. But I'm gonna do it like in the step out. So I'm gonna make my next V shape next to that one. And of course going behind. Auraing first one side and then the other side. So I would have my V shape come down here, go up, auraing first one side, and then of course the other side. Auraing one side and the other side, and then I won't have much more right there, and that's perfect. I like it like that. I am going to take my eraser and just get rid of my lines for where I can go with this pattern. I'm just gonna be careful around my white Jelly Roll. So I'm still looking at this side, and from here I'm kind of making a semicircle from that point to around the middle. Oops. From this corner to around a little over the middle on the next side, and I'm gonna do that everywhere where I have the possibility to do so. And then I'm gonna aura that line until I don't have any more room for auras. Like that. The next one. And here I will have a few lines as well. Always going behind when I hit another pattern. There we go. And then from this corner I will go to around the middle of that one, or from the middle of that one and out. And again I'm gonna aura that line. So I would have a few lines there, nothing on that one, but here. Maybe And you could stop here if you want to. You could also turn it around and do the same on the other side. You could just go ahead and do it from the shapes you have, or you could do that auraing again like they did on the other side, but they did not do that in the step out, so I'm thinking of just leaving it. So I'm gonna go from around half down up to the corner. So from the corner to around the center on the other line. So the exact same thing as we just did. And then we're gonna aura that line. Until there's no more rooms to aura. I'm just taking my time with this. And then from this other corner up here, let me see if I can do that, till around the middle, and then auraing that one. So I would have a tiny bit right there from the corner to around the middle, auraing. And we do this everywhere. So everything is looking nice and done. There we go. That is the pattern, but you could go in and decorate it a tiny bit. So I'm taking my 05 here again in white, making sure it is writing. So here at the top ribbon, I am just gonna go in and make some lines. You could make orb or something else in here. You could even color it out if you want to. Sorry. In their step out they made orbs. But I like these tiny lines. And what I did on one side, I'm gonna do on the other side. So I'm just gonna go, if I can get this to write again, there we go. Making a lot of small thin lines here. And you get this twisted look when it's all done. I kind of think it is really, really pretty. Sorry if you can't see anything for my hand, but I have to hold this one kind of straight up and down to make it draw anything here. This one. Over here. There we go. I really like that one. It's very, very neat. I am actually missing a little color, so I'm going to take my gold jelly roll. This is a yellow metallic actually, and I think I'm gonna color in these pieces here. Let me see how I do this best. Let me do the one that go this way first. Then I can turn my book and do the other ones in a second. There we go, turning my book and doing the ones going this way. I really think this one is empty because it's kind of not rolling as good as it once did. But I think there is enough for this page, so I can get that done before I have to throw it out. There we go. So there is a lot of possibilities for shading this one. I'm deciding on looking here where this is kind of going over. So this one is going under this one. So I'm just gonna pop in some of my white charcoal here. Of course, if you are on white paper, you just use your graphite. Taking my Tortillion and softening that out, making it into a nice shading or shadow, giving it a little more 3D effect. And then I'm just going to turn my book around and do the same on this side. So a line of white. Using my Tortillion. There we go, I really like that. And I am thinking of, making a nice white line here where the two patterns are meeting. I just gave it a lot of white here, and then I'm softening that out, but I'm not softening that out too much. I want it to be very concentrated here around the connection between the two patterns. And I'm not going over my gold because I can actually scratch that off the paper and I don't want to. So there it is. That is the pattern for today. I actually think it's really, really cool. Take a look at the step out for it because you can do this one in a lot of different and cool ways. So try it out and see what you like. Anyway, that was this pattern right here. I think that was amazing. Thank you for watching. Have an attitude of gratitude.